What if I told you Jesus insulted the religious leaders right to their faces and they didn't even realize it? Stay with me, because once you see this double meaning, you'll never read Luke 5 the same way again. Have you ever heard the words double-entendre to describe something that was said? Well, a double-entendre is a literary technique used in language where a phrase or sentence is designed to have a double meaning. One that is obvious and literal, and another that is hidden in plain sight. It's a figure of speech that utilizes ambiguity, wordplay, or puns to convey a hidden second meaning. This literary technique has been used by some of the sharpest minds in history. Remember this?
Young lady, are you trying to show contempt for this court?
Mae West responded, "No, Your Honor. I'm doing my best to hide it."
Legally, she denies the charge, but hidden beneath her statement she is admitting is true. She actually intends to show contempt for the court. Here's another famous example.
While in Parliament, Winston Churchill was once asked by his rival, "Must you always fall asleep when I'm speaking?"
He responded, "No, it is purely voluntary."
Translation, you're so boring, I choose to sleep. But what if I told you Jesus used this same technique? Notice the story recorded in Luke chapter 5. The context of this story begins with a man named Levi, a tax collector, despised and called a traitor by his own people. But Jesus happens to see him sitting in his tax collection booth and calls him to become one of his disciples. And just like that, Levi walks away from everything. Then comes the moment that shocked the religious leaders. You see, to show his appreciation, Levi throws a banquet feast in honor of Jesus. But look who he invited: tax collectors, outcasts, sinners.
So the religious leaders asks Jesus' disciples, "Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners?"
Notice they didn't even confront Jesus directly. They just grumbled. But here's the question. Was Jesus about to defend himself or expose the religious leaders?
He says, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick."
Sounds simple, right? A doctor treats the sick, not the healthy. But wait, what if that wasn't just a simple statement? What if there was an underlying meaning? What if it was a double entendre? On the surface, Jesus is explaining his mission. He's the physician, the sinners are the sick, and he invites them to come get healed, to come and be made well. He implies the Pharisees are already well, and therefore they don't need the healing that Jesus offers. But underneath, there's a second meaning, a not so obvious meaning, one that is hidden. The word well comes from the Greek word hugiaino. It doesn't just mean physically healthy, it also means spiritually healthy in the eyes of God. So when Jesus calls the Pharisees well, he's not praising them, he's exposing them. They thought he was saying, "You're righteous in the eyes of God." But what he was really saying is, you are self-righteous, because you think you're righteous in and of yourselves, and therein lies your biggest problem. And here's the trap. If they admit they're sick, then the question becomes, why haven't they listened to and adhered to Jesus' teaching? Otherwise, they would have done as other sinners did. They would have admitted their need for forgiveness. They would have admitted their need for Jesus. But because they claimed to be well without Jesus, they condemned themselves. They in effect rejected him. You see, the sick are those who know they are broken and they are ready for healing, but the self-righteous always walk away thinking they didn't need him. So let me ask you, are you so spiritually healthy and well that you don't need Jesus? Or are you like that publican who near the doors of the temple beat his chest and prayed, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner"? Because the greatest danger is not being physically sick. It's being spiritually sick and thinking you're healthy and well when you're not. We out.